Transformers Animated made its debut on air back in December of 2007, 5 months and 23 days after the release of the first live-action Transformers movie. Animated was created to ride the influx of success the movie had generated and has succeeded in doing just that. Aiming to be a more kid-appeal approach to our beloved Autobots and Decepticons, Transformers Animated set a high bar for what is obtainable in a children's cartoon. Fans adore Animated for its unique take on our favorite characters, its solid storyline, love for Transformers lore, and heartfelt moments with those characters that we watch evolve over the course of 3 seasons. And with every Transformers media, there comes the toys. Animated was absolutely no slouch when it came to high-quality action figures, as we saw so many lines spring out from this series. We had regular Legends classes, Deluxes, Voyagers, and Leaders, as well as Activators, Multipacks. McDonald's released their own Transformers animated toys, but they made them transformable as well. And Takara Tomy came out with beautiful metallic repaints and redecos of figures that Hasbro initially put out on shelves. That brings us to the first 3 figures that I'll be covering in this video, which are Deluxes that were released in the first and second waves, if I'm correct. If not, let me know. The first figure we'll be checking out here was actually my very first Transformers animated figure, that being Deluxe Class Lockdown, and damn! This guy is still one of my absolute favorites. This vehicle mode looks mean, and the color scheme screams nothing but terror with that big-ass engine block, as well as the particularly spiky roof. This figure also happens to be a real-life example of mass shifting, as while this alt mode is decently small in size compared to other figures from the line, the robot mode stands tall and prideful in his height. I should also mention that this guy feels absolutely terrific. Seriously, we do not get plastic even remotely to this level of quality nowadays, and it absolutely shows when you make a comparison. So, getting down into Lockdown's transformation, it's very simple, but this guy does kind of have a tendency to fall apart on me because of the very loose ball joints in the legs. So, getting down into it, let me scratch my fucking eyebrow first. First thing I like to do here is just split the legs, and I usually end up just tearing them off, because that's easier than keeping them on. They just like to fall off. And this tab right here for the upper arms is broken, but those will tab in, and you can untab those, bring them down, rotate the waist, unplug this piece, fold out the arms, hinge up the shoulder pad, just like so, flip out the hands, boom, open the chest, flip out the head, and there you have the body. Then just extend the leg, fold this piece down, fold the foot up, bring this up, and tab that back into your boy there. Second verse, same as the first. Let's do a whole bunch of this flip me do stuff that I'm doing right here. And bada bing, bada boom, you have Lockdown in his robot mode. And he's very tall, so I'm going to have to adjust the camera here in just a second. Actually, I'm just going to peg this back on to the ass right there. But yeah, hold on, let me get the camera adjusted after I get him adjusted. And boom, here's Lockdown in his very tall, very anime proportion-like robot mode. And yeah, I love the way this guy looks in this mode. The robot mode is, as I said, tall and certainly proud of being that way. For being classed as a deluxe, he towers over most of Voyagers in my collection and stacks up the leader classes. It's genuinely surprising. The lovely green color scheme continues on in the robot mode, and it suits him beautifully. So well, in fact, that the black and green Mad Max style robot design became the staple look for Lockdown going forward. Except for Age of Extinction because of, Michael Bay. I do have a few flaws with this figure though, such as the stupid fucking hands that don't fold out all of the way. I understand that there's a mod for this issue, but god damn it, I don't want to spend all day fixing something that really shouldn't be a problem to begin with. The second issue that I have with this figure is more of a personal one, and that would be the very loose legs. It's not exactly this figure's fault, that's how I bought him in fact, but it still does sort of hold back my full enjoyment. The hood piece comes off during the transformation and can attach to the hand and become his fucking hook, along with having the EMP generator that he stole from Ratchet. And my god, this accessory just completes the look. The smirk that he displays creates a cunning stature that really can't be found anywhere else. So, getting into Lockdown's articulation, because this guy has the proportions of Woody from Toy Story, he's kind of awkward, but he does have a good amount of range. So he has just a swivel at the head, and that can do a full 360. And if you want, you can kind of hinge the chest down, if I can get it, and make him look down. But that's just kind of cheating, and it looks kind of odd. But hey, I'm sure you can work with it. Shoulders are on multiple kind of hinges. They're on the transformation hinge. They're on just a universal hinge. They're on a swivel, so those can do a full 360. They can go out all of the way, flip his hand back out, in however which way you like. He does have double hinges at the elbow there, but not bicep swivel. That's an elbow swivel right there. Horrible, 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 horrible hinges at the wrist there. He does have a waist swivel. Hips can kick forward all of the way. They can kick backward all of the way. And we finally have a case of a figure that can kick himself in the back of the head. Let me tab that back on real quick. And the hips okay, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Come on. Hips can do, they can spread that much. Wow, that really likes falling off. He does have a thigh swivel and a really shitty bend at the knee. That's not even 90 degrees. And he does have a hinge at the foot right there. So yeah, Lockdown's pretty posable. He's just kind of awkward. He's too tall. He's not too tall, but his being so tall kind of makes him a little janky, but that's okay. I still love this figure, and I think you would too. Overall, I really do love Animated Lockdown. This figure just hits all of the right marks. Other than a few little issues that I have, he has become an absolutely iconic piece in my collection. The Cybertronian Ironhide / Ratchet mold is just mwah. Once again, this is a figure that feels much more durable than anything we've gotten recently. The Cybertronian alt mode looks so freaking cool. It's so uniquely designed with its odd elongated wheel structure, yet it captures the medical officer traits Ratchet is known for oh so well. It's not the most structurally sound mode in the world, however, for being a toy designed around 2008, I don't personally have an issue with it this time. Getting into Cybertronian mode Ratchet's transformation, I'd say out of the 3 Deluxes that I'm going to talk about in this video, this guy's transformation is probably my favorite just because it's so unique and it's so satisfying. So, getting down into it, first thing I like to do, untab the legs, rip those off the ball joints apparently, untab, just a tab right there, hole right there, bring those down, just make sure that those are where they need to be, flip the feet around like so, and then boom, bada bing, bada boom, okay, then orientate this properly, then hinge all of this in. Oh yeah, that fell off. I need to take that off real quick. Okay, these 2 wheels will just hinge in and tab in right there. And just make sure this chest piece is where you want it to be. Arms, get my camera raised for the transformation, because this guy is just kind of difficult. Okay, just untab all of this, bring all of this up, hinge, actually, nope, bring this down, fold his head out, and then can rotate that up, rotate his fist, boom, 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 boom. There you have Animated Ratchet in his robot mode. And I didn't explain that transformation very well, but it's very simple to just follow the what you see me doing on the camera, because these guys are just so simple and so satisfying. I'm gonna attach his knuckle dusters, or not knuckle dust, whatever I call these in the video. I know I call them something at some point. The fist shields, yes, he's got fist shields, and boom, there's Ratchet in his robot mode. Damn, he just looks fucking gorgeous like that. Now, the robot mode is definitely where this figure shines. For once, animated Ratchet looks happy. That is a very rare thing to come across. He looks absolutely buff, and they even gave my guy, well, not necessarily knuckle dusters, but full-fledged fist shields, accompanied by a gimmick found in his arm and the ability to equip his EMP generator, and you have the most badass Ratchet has looked in years. For Cybertronian mode Ratchet's articulation, this guy is just another case of he's fucking jam-packed opposability, man. He's got a lot in his system. So, he does have, I believe, a tiny little ball joint right there at the top of the head. With that, he can look up that far, down that far, but due to the transformation, you can hinge his head back even more, getting him looking up that far, and that doesn't assist him in any downward motion, but he can do a full 360. Shoulders are also on ball joints. Those can go out that far, in that far. He does have, finally, a fucking bicep swivel, also double joints at the elbows there. He does have a wrist swivel, and I don't know why it's molded to look like that's supposed to be separated too when this one has the gimmick, but I don't know. Doesn't have anything at the waist. Hips can kick forward that far, backward about that far. Hips can do not a beautiful spread whatsoever, but he does have kind of thigh swivels. They're not upper thigh cuts, but you know what? I'll take it. And he does have just kind of below 90 degrees of bend at the knee there, and you can break his knee if you want to. And he does have a hinge at the foot. So even Ratchet here is absolutely jam-packed full of posability, and I really do appreciate that, because you wouldn't expect this guy, especially not this interpretation of the character, to be that what's the word I'm looking for here? Battle ready, battle ridden. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure y'all get what I'm trying to say. Overall, though, I love this guy. Love his articulation. I think this mold is wonderful, and I really want Ironhide, who is of course harder to find than his twin over here. We don't really get Deluxes with this kind of charm often anymore, and it makes me kind of sad. The last figure that we'll be covering today is Cybertronian Mode Deluxe Class Optimus Prime, and oh my, this guy might just be my favorite animated figure that I own thus far. He just looks beautiful in both modes. This mold was also reused for the Battle Begins 2-pack with Megatron, and that is also something that I want to get at some point. Some might consider this mold to be better than the Voyager class, and while I don't own that figure, after watching a few reviews, I kind of agree. That could be controversial, but hear me out. The Deluxe scales better, it has more articulation, and the engineering doesn't suffer from the gimmicks they wanted to include, because this guy simply doesn't have any. He's so solid all around. So, getting into Cybertronian Mode Optimus Prime's transformation, it is a lot of fun to do, and it's very simple. All of these guys that I've reviewed are very, very simple. So, getting down into, what's the first thing I like to do? Extend the legs, they will clip in right here, fold these pieces out. Fold this, actually you're not folding anything, that's another slider right there. This will just slide like so, and that will hinge forward. Can then rotate the shins, bring the foot up, rotate, bring the foot up, he's gonna get tall, so I'm just gonna transform him like this. Bring the arms down, bring the chest down, make sure all of that's hinged. There's a peg right there, slot right there. Y'all know the deal. Fold the arms down. Shield likes to fall off. That needs to be hinged. This needs to be hinged. Okay. Make sure just all of this is oriented properly. Bada bing, bada boom. There you have another transformation done out of the way. And that arm is very loose, but let me raise the camera in just a second. Just a sec. Alright, and oh, wait. Nice. His hand is on a slider for some reason. But yeah, there is Cybertronian mode Optimus Prime with this very loose shoulder. In robot mode, let me get the camera focused. I'm filming on a new phone, by the way, so if the quality is different from all of my other videos, then that is the reason why. But yes, there is animated Optimus Prime in his robot mode, and my god, I just love the way that this guy looks in this mode. This robot mode utterly emphasizes why this guy might be my favorite figure in the line. I just can't get over this sleek and sexy looking Prime. His proportions are so accurate to the show, and believe me when I tell you that this man is chocked full of posability. He comes with an axe that likes to fall apart, but it does have multiple hinges that you can use it to display however which way you prefer. And not only does he get a badass melee weapon, he gets a shield that can peg onto the arm as well, and act as the roof of the vehicle mode. And for some reason, it can do this, because this would be useful in a fight. Totally. So, for Cybertronian mode Optimus Prime's articulation, this guy is just, as I've already said, he is completely chocked full of posability. So let's just run it down real quick. He has got a ball joint at the head. He can look up that far, look down into his own breasticles right there, and that's just wonderful. He can do a full 360. Shoulders are on ball joints. Those can do full 360s. They can go out that far because of the transformation, but without the transformation hinge, they can go out that far. He does have a double joint at the elbow, has a ball joint and a hinge, and he does have an elbow swivel. Nothing at the wrist. He does have a waist swivel. Hips can kick forward that far, backward that far, without bending his knee that far. He can do a beautiful spread while looking like a cheerleader with his arm in that pose. Let's just hinge that back down. He does have a below the knee swivel, which I think is just horrible, so I won't ever be using that in any pose that I ever put this guy in. And he does have a very tight hinge at the ankle there. So yes, with his battle axe and his shield, you can get some really, really badass poses out of Cybertronian mode Optimus Prime here. So, Animated Prime is such a banger of a figure. For being a figure released around 2008, his feats are exceptional, and so are the other figures that I covered. Animated is a wonderful line that you will no doubt see me talk about again in the future. I recommend all three figures that you've seen in this video because even with their flaws, the level of playability to be found within this line cannot be replicated anywhere else, even in the new Legacy remakes. The charm is unmatchable. So anyways guys, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more from me, please be sure to comment down below topics or figures that I should cover in a future video. And with all of that being said guys, this has been That Nerd Isaac 2006 and I'm rolling out. Peace.